Hey, welcome back. We got a pretty cool little project today. We'll see how it turns out. I'm not Amish. I'm not a carpenter.
You ever heard of rumspringing?
So it's going to be what it's going to be. What we're building today is a shooting table. We're building it out of this. This is a cable spool I picked up. I got 2 of them for like 75 bucks. They're big. It's 4 feet. They're those big spools. And they're tall, which is perfect for what I'm looking to do here. Sometimes you get them, they're squatty and they're not as big. But anyhow, we're going to make a shooting table out of this. I have some old fence posts here, or sign posts. I'd use these for business. They've been sitting out at the Freedom Farm. This one's been in the mud. I figured these would probably make pretty cool sliders for this thing. It's going to end up being heavy. It's going to be the bottom side of it. Piece of 3/4 inch treated plywood here. The theory is this spool is going to be my base. I'm going to top it with plywood. I'm going to cut it to be able to fit in there. I've seen some DIY projects to where they actually cut out the spool as the table and make a notch in there to get in. And I don't want to deal with that because this stuff's thick. It's solid. And the board's crisscross on there. And then the top's not really all that flat anyway, so I'm just going to top it with flat plywood. I'm going to put a deflector shield on there for casings as well. We're going more function, not necessarily finish on this. Like I said, I'm not Amish and I'm not a finished carpenter. If I wanted something to look real nice, I'd hire someone to build it. This is going to be sitting on the gun range out at the Freedom Farm outside all the time. So we're looking for a sturdy shooting table. What I'm gonna do, and this thing may turn out being so heavy it pulls my D rings out. We'll see. Concept of this is I'm gonna put it on these sliders and I'm gonna put some D rings on the base, and it's one of those things where you hook up to the side-by-side or four-wheeler. If I'm at 50 yards and say, hey, I want to go back to 125, I hook it up, just slide it on back, slide it on forward, so on and so forth, and I leave it out there. I don't worry about it rusted or anything like that. So let's get to it. These posts are 8 feet long. I'm going to cut them down to 6 feet. This top is 4. I'm going to give a foot on each side. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth these lips out here. On to the next one. All right, here's what I have to secure it. Got some smaller lag bolts. Those will help keep the base off the ground from getting wet, rotted, muddy, and hopefully I angled them up, smoothed them out. That'll help them slide. Last year I bought myself a new tool set. I said whenever I use shit, I'm gonna put it back. So I have a complete set whenever I need it. So far so good. I have so many random sets of shit. It's ridiculous. And if you're a normal dude, that means you do too. These are the D-rings I'm going to put on top and the bottom. So now we have the bottom down. Let's flip it over. Let's do the top. See the 2 layers of boards on this one? It's thick now, I'm telling you. What I have to do now is I'm going to go through, grind off these little top nubs, the bolts. I'm going to take those bolts and that plate off. I think I got all those knocked down. Let's get these bolts out. Ha! Lucky there too. Got this old Craftsman jigsaw. I had a client that's cleaning out a garage. He's gonna toss it, ask if I want it. I said, hell yeah. And where I lack in carpentry skills, They make 60 grit sandpaper. We'll smooth all this shit out. Yeah. What I want to do is take these corners off. Again, this is more for function than it is looks. However, run your thigh into that coming back to the table. It won't feel so good. This is the only thing I have circular really that's going to work. I'm going to make a radius. I'm going to get jiggy with it and cut it out. Not too bad. I'll fix it up with the sandpaper. There we go, y'all. I'll put some L brackets here. I have about a 3-foot long piece of plexiglass. Then I'll bring it up and put a shield across here. So it's gonna be a brass deflector. I'm gonna mount one there. I'm gonna mount another there. So the theory is, I have a strap with a hook. Put the strap with the hook on, side by side or four-wheeler. Hook it to the D-ring. This slides up and back on the shooting range. Being that this is going to have some force on it, I got some bigger lag bolts. These are 3/8. I think those others that I put in these rails were quarters. Forgot to get washers. Always something. I was going to put a washer on top of that to go through that. But I'm not going back, so we're just going to sink it in as is. All right, here's what I got: a winch strap. This is for like your boat on your trailer when you're winching up your boat. Comes with a hook, 20 foot long. I could have gotten rope, could have gotten something else. I thought about cable. I thought about I was going to do eye bolts and have it eye bolts going through that with the eye bolts sticking up to where I could take a strap from the side by side and hook to the eye bolt. I'm glad I ended up seeing those. I think those are the ticket. A lot easier than drilling through that, putting a nut in a washer, having an eye bolt sticking up. That's the ticket. My original idea was to drill a hole through this and a hole on the other side and have a rope or a cable or something along those lines with a loop and a stopper on each end. So basically, if you're pulling it that way, the rope would come out, get stopped, and then extend out. You could hook it onto your side by side and pull it. If you need to go the opposite way, you just pull the rope. Then it has a stopper on that back side, and you come out, you hook it this way. I may go to that, but inside this spool is a big complex matrix of boards and supports. And so I was like, man, if I drill through that, I may end up hitting one of those supports. May not be able to get the rope through there because of some obstruction. I don't know. So I just went the D-rings. We'll see if that works for now. If it doesn't, then we'll go to that option. If I did that, you'd be pulling from the center. This is gonna be a little top heavy now that I have that top on it. Now mind you, I have these skis about a foot out, but if you're pulling it from the center, that may want to top over, and that's why I wanted to go down here to where if you're down below, that force is going to be actually pulling up a little bit. I got this strap. What I'm going to do with it, make a little hook so it stays right there with this thing. So if it's time to move, just take it off the hook, snap it into the D ring, loop it over your hitch or your bumper or whatever, and off you go. And then I have a metal folding chair at the farm. I'm going to put another hook here. Then that thing's going to fold up and just hang on the side. Time to go. Fold it out. Should be the perfect distance away from this. Boom. I think this is awesome. It turned out pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with it. Again, I'm going to put a case catch here on this side. Getting ejections. They're not going in the weeds. Should hit that shield, drop, and line them all up right there. Same if you're working a bolt gun. You don't have to worry about catching your shit. Just let her fly and then collect it when you're done. I don't know how. Somewhere in this little area, and I spoke too soon, I lost one of my sockets. But I am a professional at that shit, I'll tell you that. Well, there you go. Thanks for tuning in. If you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for your viewership. I'm almost to 3,000 subscribers. Give me a subscription, y'all. I appreciate it. I got all kinds of content in there. Some of this stuff, check out my Amazon store. Link is in the description below. A lot of the equipment you see me using, it's on there. Here it is, you all. I've got to finish a couple of finishing touches on it, but for the most part, we're done. There's the finished product. D-ring in front. Rounding my corners. Got all the splinters off. D-ring in back. Got my skis. There's my top. And it's just now starting to rain. Look at that. What timing, what timing. I'm going to let it dry out a little bit. Then I'm going to put a coat of stain on this. Thanks so much for joining me on my project today. My little shooting table I made for the Freedom Farm. Hopefully it helps you along on your project if you're looking to make one, or gives you some ideas. I do appreciate your time. Have all fingers and toes. That's a good day for me. Thanks for tuning in.